Carrick, I have to sentence you for 49 offences on 2 indictments committed over 17 years while you were a serving police officer. Some of those charges represent multiple offences, and you have admitted at least 71 instances of sexual violence against 12 victims. You also took advantage of 3 of those women in brutal, controlling and coercive relationships. These convictions represent a spectacular downfall for a man charged with upholding the law and empowered to do so even to the extent of being authorised to bear a firearm in the execution of his duty. Behind a public appearance of propriety and trustworthiness, you took monstrous advantage of women drawn into intimate relationships with you. You brazenly raped and sexually assaulted many women, some you barely knew. You behaved as if you were untouchable. You were bold and at times relentless, trusting that no victim would overcome her shame and fear to report you for no of, quotes, wholly exceptional circumstances, which the court indicated would justify such an order. I've also scrutinised the judgment of the court in another recent conjoined case, the Crown and Stewart, Cousins, Tustin and Hughes, 2022 EWCA Crim 1063, in which the offender Cousins appealed against the whole life order imposed on him, following a notorious abduction of a young woman from the streets of London, accomplished while he was an off-duty police officer by use of his warrant card, followed by her rape and murder. The court accepted that police officers are in a uniquely powerful position. In respect of the fixing of minimum terms where a mandatory life sentence is required by law, as set out in Schedule 21 of the Sentencing Code, a different scheme to the one I have to apply, Lord Burnett, Chief Justice, stated the principle, quote, "In our view, the correct approach is to focus on the facts, which in a rare case might lead to the conclusion that a whole life order is appropriate," close quote. At paragraph 83, having explained the correct route to a whole life order in that case, he continued, quote, "This was, as the judge said, warped, selfish and brutal offending which was both sexual and homicidal. It was a case with unique and extreme aggravating features. Chief amongst these, as the judge correctly identified, was the grotesque misuse by Cousins of his position as a police officer with all that connoted to facilitate Miss Everard's kidnap, rape and murder. We agree with the observations of the judge about the unique position of the police, the critical importance of their role and the critical trust the public repose in them." End of quote. Had the court in McCann imagined the facts of this case, would they have equated it to the gravity of the near-miss mass murder attempt or the foiled terrorist atrocity, which the court considered would compel a court to attach a whole life tariff to a discretionary life sentence? On count 6, on the second indictment, I impose a concurrent determinate sentence of 9 years. 31 sentences of life imprisonment are imposed on the main indictment on counts 1, 2, 36 life sentences. The minimum term you will have to serve before the parole board can think of releasing you is 30 years, 239 days. And you may go down.